When Micah left, it was as though someone had pulled the rug from beneath Lila's feet, and she had landed in a world that no longer felt steady. The emptiness of their home was the most crushing part. For days she walked from room to room, staring at the gaps where furniture had once been, staring at Noah's confused little face when he toddled toward the blank space where the TV had stood. "Mommy, Daddy gone?" he asked one morning, holding his toy truck in both hands. Lila swallowed the lump in her throat. "Yes, baby, Daddy's not here right now, but Mommy's here. Always." From that moment she decided that no matter what storm raged around her, Noah would never feel abandoned. The next weeks were grueling. Lila had to reorganize her entire life. Bills that Micah used to promise he'd handle now piled up on her kitchen counter. The rent notice, the electricity statement, the daycare fee, it all looked like a mountain she had to climb every month with no rope to pull her up. Her first step was enrolling Noah in daycare. The thought of leaving him with strangers scared her, but it was her only option if she wanted to keep both her jobs. The first morning, she dressed him in clean jeans and a bright red t-shirt, packed his little bag with snacks and a blanket, and held his tiny hand as they walked through the daycare doors. "Be a good boy, Noah," she whispered, kneeling to kiss his forehead. "Mommy, no, stay!" He clung to her leg, crying. Her heart cracked, but she forced herself to untangle his arms and hand him to the caregiver. She left quickly, tears streaming down her face as she walked to work. It was the hardest thing she had ever done. But over time, Noah adjusted. He made friends, learned songs, brought home finger paintings smudged with every color of the rainbow. Lila would tape them to the fridge like treasures. Every Friday evening, Lila packed a small bag for Noah, clothes, pajamas, and his favorite stuffed bunny. Micah would come, sometimes alone, sometimes with his mother, and take Noah for the weekend. At first, Lila felt relief, thinking it would give her time to rest. But that relief was quickly replaced by tension. "Noah doesn't eat enough vegetables when he's with you. He needs more discipline. You spoil him. You should let him stay longer with us. It's better for him." Each word felt like a stab, as though she was being judged not only as a mother, but as a woman. Micah rarely defended her. He usually just sat quietly, letting his mother speak for him, nodding along. When Noah returned on Sundays, Lila noticed the subtle changes. He'd call for his grandmother more often, sometimes even refusing to sleep unless Lila sang the same lullabies his grandmother did. She felt her role being chipped away, piece by piece. Still, she refused to let the bitterness consume her. She made sure Saturdays were sacred. No matter how tired she was, she dressed Noah in his best clothes, held his hand, and took him to church. Sabbath mornings became their anchor. Noah would sway to the hymns, clap during the children's story, and sometimes fall asleep against her shoulder during the sermon. The church became her refuge, the one place she didn't feel judged, the one place she could still breathe. A year slipped by like sand through her fingers. Noah was bigger now, speaking in full sentences, running everywhere, demanding, "Mommy, watch me," every other minute. Lila had grown too, tougher, more independent, but also more tired. Her face carried shadows of sleepless nights, her hands raw from endless work, her heart sore from loneliness. But she was proud of herself. She had kept them afloat. Despite the ache of single motherhood, despite the gossiping whispers from neighbors and the passive-aggressive remarks from Micah's family, she had survived. One Friday evening, as she was folding laundry, there was a knock at the door. She expected Micah, maybe with Noah's grandmother, ready to pick him up. But when she opened it, her chest tightened. It wasn't just Micah, it was Micah, his father, and his mother, standing together, faces stern, like a delegation with bad news. "Lila, we need to talk." Lila stepped aside, allowing them into the living room. She sat on the edge of the couch, Noah playing quietly with his toys at her feet. Micah sat opposite her, but it was his mother who spoke. "We've come to inform you of something important. It's about your marriage. Micah has filed for divorce. The papers will come soon." Lila's stomach knotted. Her eyes flicked to Micah, who avoided her gaze. The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. For a long moment, Lila couldn't breathe. Divorce. She had known things were broken, yes, but hearing it out loud, so final, so cold, it felt like the floor beneath her had collapsed again. She turned to Micah, desperate for a sign that this was a mistake, that maybe he hadn't meant it. But he just sat there, head bowed, lips pressed tight. It wasn't Micah who said it. It was his mother, who seemed almost relieved to be the messenger. And just like that, the room spun around Lila. The noise of Noah playing with his cars became distant. The ticking of the clock on the wall thundered in her ears. She could barely feel her hands gripping the couch cushions. Divorce. This wasn't just about their marriage ending. It was about everything she had fought for. The sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the silent tears. It was about Noah growing up in a broken home. Her vision blurred, but she blinked hard, refusing to let them see her break. She straightened her back, inhaled deeply, and lifted her chin. What did Lila say?